Alright, so I have a little bit of a problem. I have an iPad that I love using and I'm going to be using for teaching quite a bit here very soon as we learn about drafting by hand. But the problem is that I don't have a comfortable angle to draw it at. I hate drawing with my iPad at a flat angle. It's just the worst. It doesn't work for me. So we're going to design a stand here in Onshape. We're going to print it out and hopefully that will stabilize us. Now the idea here is that I'm going to basically print 2 or 3 little kind of supports and connect them with a dowel rod that I have, which is a 3/4 inch dowel rod. So we're going to start off our sketch here on the right hand side. We'll roll over and I'm just going to draw a basic line that's going to kind of establish the absolute maximum size that we can go, which is roughly 8 inches. My printer can go a little more, but I don't really want to stress it out with that. And then we'll kind of figure out some other way of getting all this stuff in there. I think I'm going to want a rough angle of about 15 degrees. That seems reasonable to me. And from there, we're going to have to do a whole lot more work, but this is kind of just the initial starting. So I'm going to get rid of those because that's not really super useful to us yet. We're going to need to have some type of hook mechanism to hold the iPad itself. Then it's going to come up at that angle and then connect down. We are going to put a vertical constraint on this to make sure that that guy stays where it's at. And then we can dimension between here and there, and that will be 15 degrees. And we can play with that because nothing is really set in stone quite yet. As we change this angle, that will increase or decrease. So then we're going to put some dimensions here, I guess, between this and this area. I'm going to say 3/8. And I'm going to make the thickness of this 3/8 as well. All right, and again, the entire purpose of that is just to give us some thickness so that when the iPad slides in here, we have a nice area for it to go to. We can also round these off, so we'll do here and here. That's going to be 3/8 divided by 2, or also known as 3/16. So we'll do the same thing here to get that rounded off. I'll probably put a little fillet inside of here, even though it doesn't necessarily need that. It's still nice to have that on there. Now let's go in and talk about the next steps that we need to do. I need to have a space for these things to connect. So I'm going to put a circle over here. My dowel rod is 3/4 inch, so 0.75. I'm going to put 0.76 just to give us a little bit more size with where things going to go at. I know it's an enormous dowel rod, but that's what I have on hand. And then put another one over here, and that's going to be 0.76 as well. Now, the next step comes in is that we need to figure out where the heck the rest of this thing is going to go. So we need another circle. Basically, we're going to put another circle right on top of that and come outside of there. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. So we're going to put another circle and come outside of there. The thickness of that is going to be, let's say, 1/8 of an inch. I don't really know, but we're going to play with these and see what we can come up with. All right. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set this outside circle tangent to here and also to the bottom so that we can kind of get that at the lowest possible point in that triangle that we can. And it looks like it's thinking, so we're going to give it a second to figure it out. There we go. And then we're going to do it down here. And now that one's locked into place. This one we're going to do the same thing. We're going to lock it onto there. And then we'll lock it onto there. We have that. And I might include another one farther up here. I'd need to see what that looks like. 0.76, and then put another circle in there like so. And we'll do 1/8 of an inch between those. Okay, and then we'll grab our tangent constraint or the letter T, make a tangent to that and also to that. Cool, I'm happy with how that looks. Then we just need to kind of build in the rest of this. So this is going to be parallel to that. And we can hit the parallel tool, also B for some reason. But we'll set those as parallel. Put another line in here to come out to there. Great. Put another line here going up to there. These ones are going to be a little more wonky, but that's okay. Oops, let me back that up. Line from here to there, and a line from there to there, and then I'm going to throw some dimensions on these. They're all going to be 1/8 of an inch apart from each other. All right, so we'll do that to there, this guy to there, 1/8. Oops, Math works when you put the right numbers in. There to there is also going to be 1/8. And here to there will be 1/8. All right, then I need to, let's make these tangent here. So this guy's going to be tangent with that circle. And that move that out. Awesome. I think we're going to get rid of this top corner entirely. So we'll just stop where that dial's at. Same thing here. We'll get rid of this bottom corner. We got to do some work in here. I don't want that to be solid. And I also need to do some work to strengthen that area up. So we're going to get some lines here. And we're just going to build on some very basic random support structures that aren't entirely necessary, but I like to have extra stuff, especially because this is going to be something we're pushing down on. We're using not a lot of weight, but a little bit of weight on. I want it to be a little bit stronger than what it would be otherwise. So do that. Do that. All right. Now what we can do is we're going to put these guys as perpendicular. And then we'll dimension between them of 1/8. Do the same thing over here. Boom, boom, 1/8. And we'll do the same thing here, 1/8. The distance between these, it doesn't really matter. Let's make it 3/4 of an inch. Then from here to there is also going to be 3/4 of an inch. Ooh. Doesn't like that, so we're not going to do... Oh, that's right. We have this one locked into a place. That's why. Okay. Not going to worry about that one then. And then dimension between here and there. 3/4. Sure. And I don't really know why we have that one particularly lined up like that, but that's okay. I might even take something like this and just connect it over because I can. Not because there's any real purpose to it, other than it might look cool. But we'll do all of that, and we'll set those as parallel to these guys. Oop, oh, I put it on a line. Okay. That's one thing you need to know about Onshape is and most drafting softwares. Like you see there's that little square that pops up there. That means it's going to be the midpoint. But the second you do that onto a midpoint, you do run into some potential problems. Nothing big deal, but just something to be aware of. So now we can make all those parallel. We'll dimension these bad boys down. And we'll go in there and get that set like so. Cool, that looks great. Then we're just going to go in here and do some randomness, I guess. Randomness like that, sure. Then we can dimension these guys. We need to make sure these are parallel and then dimension between them. All right. Now what I can do, I could put on some more stuff here. I'm cool with that being solid as is. But now we're going to use the scissor tool, the trim tool. With the letter M, we can go in and start making sure we have all of our closed loops are kind of stacked together so that when we go to extrude, it just makes it a little bit easier to do. This is not a necessary step in any way, but I like doing it because when we go to extrude, you don't accidentally miss out on things. And it's way easier just to see what you're actually doing. So I'll get all of this stuff trimmed out of here like so. You can see the lines will change colors as we remove some of their reference material, but that's okay. But now we have this really cool looking thing. Let's finish our sketch. So we're going to extrude this whole thing. You can see what I mean when I say that it goes through there. This is a completely, totally random shape. I don't know the purpose of this. We're definitely not going to extrude it 1 inch. Maybe 3/8 sounds more reasonable. Maybe a 1/2 inch, I don't know. But we'll finish that. And then basically the idea here, these are all going to be press fit. So I'm going to have 2 to 3 of these that will go. So we'll print these out and see where they go. But that's the initial stages here. The only other thing I want to do, I think, is put them as fillets. We're going to put 1/8 inch fillets, and we're going to round out all of these corners to get them hopefully in slightly better shape than where they are right now. They're pretty sharp. I think structurally having these fillets will make it a little nicer, a little easier to work with, and also just, I don't know, it just looks better, I think. So I'm going to go in here and get all of this stuff established. Going down quite a ways. This area here is getting totally transformed. And let's see, we got this one up here, that one up there. What else did I miss? Got you. Oh, we missed this whole area. Nope, nope, nope. Just on the line. I don't want the whole face. All right, so we should take a look here. We got all four there, all four there. Oh, we missed one down here. There we go. I think that's all set. So we'll hit our green check now. Now we have this ridiculous looking thing, but I kind of dig it. It kind of looks oddly industrial, like something that would come off a CNC machine. I kind of dig it. So we're going to go now and take it over to the printer, throw it in there and see what happens, and we'll print from there. Alright, so we have them now placed into our bed here. I put two of them in place on there. So I have one set up one way, one the other. I could get two more if I wanted to. I kind of want to see what these print as. But the one thing I'm going to do is change out this area. For infill, 15% is fine. I am going to change it over here to honeycomb or gyroid just because it's slightly stronger, but that's not really where you get strength. Where you get strength is wall loops. I'm going to put 3 on there, mainly just because we're going to be pushing on this thing. There's going to be weight. It's going to be supporting something far more expensive than what the plastic I'm using is. So I don't want to do anything crazy there. We'll slice that plate up and just see what it's going to take us. And it's only an hour, 19-minute print to get that. And then I have the dowel rods that I can just cut down and place in there. And hopefully we have a functional iPad stand here in the next hour and a half or so. So we'll go ahead and print that up and see what it does, and then we'll take it from there. So here is the final print. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. You can see the texture on the bottom. There's the 3 holes, and that's going to fit my dowel rod. I've already cut them. I cut them to 10 inches, but what I love about this design is that you can cut them to whatever you want. So I have the big iPad or the iPad Pro. You can do it with an Air, whatever. You just need to change the size of what you're cutting those dowels at. Now I did 3 of them just because the triangle that the 3 is going to make it just a little stronger and also keep its shape a little bit better. These are all press fit in, so you can see that it's a little bit of a struggle to line them all up and to get them in there. But I wanted it to be a press fit so that, one, it can hold nice and steady, but it can also be taken apart if you need to transport it or you just decide to change it up. What we also can do is put on more of these. So I have 2 of them right now. I can go on 3rd or 4th if I needed more stability in there. And you can see it sits at a slightly higher angle. It's at a 15-degree angle where the original one is there. It's far more comfortable to write on. It's raised up so my wrist doesn't have to worry about stuff. It's really solid. And what I really also dig about it is I can put the pencil there and it can charge. So I can put it on either way. Whereas in the previous configuration with the case, I can only do it one way and the pencil's hard to get off on there. This is a good solution for the problem that I had. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye-bye.